you. All right, everyone, let's just settle into our meditation posture. Again, just remembering, however it is you're showing up this evening, it's all totally fine. It's just where you're at right now. So all is good. All's good. And if you are sitting at your desk in front of a computer, which most of us are, have the feet flat on the floor and just really try and feel the earth through the soles of your feet. Feel connected. And then the shoulders are aligned with the hips, and just imagine your spine as a string of lights stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Have your sits bones raised, particularly if you're in that regular cross-legged position. And the head is slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, and the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Just relax the jaw. And then bringing your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the tongue. Relax the back of the head, release any tension there, the neck, the shoulders, allow the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly, the limbs, hands, fingers, and your feet and toes. And then just bring the mind to the breath and notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with your mind. And then bring your awareness to the thoughts that are arising and just allow them to bubble up to the surface. Try not to suppress them or judge them or criticize or have opinions or follow a story. Just take a step back and put some space in between the thoughts. If you're spinning for some reason, just take a nice deep breath and slow down. And when you take a step back, you put yourself in the shoes of a scientist or an objective observer, just noting what's arising with curiosity and interest, and remembering to put ourselves on the bank of our river. And while we're on the bank, while we're sitting on the bank, we're free. We're free from the river. So bringing to mind all those people of our life, all the really dear folks, our loved ones, these are people we have deep and profound relationships with, some of which we tend to a little bit take for granted because they're there all the time. But, we know things could change in a moment. And that friend, that person you don't like very much, and the stranger could change place at any time. And also good to remember that they're equal to you and me in their wish to be happy and to be free from suffering and in having this extraordinary capacity for enlightenment. I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life and by extension for all sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we're creating negativity with our mind, and we can change that equally as easily by creating positivity instead. It's just that we have the habit to go down the negative route. It's just this kind of habitual way of thinking. Well, we can change it. We have the power to do that. So now we come to the power of regret. And so sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience some kind of suffering in the future. So logically, it makes sense that we'd want to pull these seeds out before they ripen as our future suffering. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we rather see actually as a doctor, sort of as opposed to someone who's there that we're going to sort of ask to forgive us. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher, your lama, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this form for your benefit, the mind of that person. And you can imagine that Vajrasattva is made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, yet untainted by them. And it has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this little section on compassion. It's also within that second opponent power of reliance, because we're relying upon other beings to develop compassion. So it's almost like we need something to work with. So you start by thinking of all the people that you've harmed in the past, and in the far past you don't remember, and then think of all the people who have harmed you. Particularly because of the harm they've caused you, they will experience suffering in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or something, a shower head or a waterfall, quite forcefully comes from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your body and enters your crown, pouring into your body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. This overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anarakta Miboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Miboa Sutokaya Miboa Sipokaya Miboa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mempiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you just click on the switch. The light in the room instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same as when the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your depression, violent thoughts, anger, bitterness, grudges, anxiety, insecurities, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled by this light and the mantra. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, and think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends, again, light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. As we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dino Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dino Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dino Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dino Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dino Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So we have some minutes. So let's just meditate for a couple of minutes. Just try and expand your mind and experience being completely purified. Just really imagine this has actually happened. And now we come to the fourth step in the purification process, and this is a really crucial step, and this is the determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. To think about refraining. Without this, we're going to keep doing the same old things, following the same old habits over and over again. So this decision, this determination, this aspiration to not harm is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So keeping that in mind, we have also another couple more minutes, a minute or so. Just meditate on, first of all, rejoice in your own efforts and your own progress. It's not a competition. So it doesn't matter where everyone else is at. It's just important where you are at. So just decide what it is you want to work on this evening between now and tomorrow morning, or tomorrow evening when we meet again. Vajrasattva, imagine, is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for just a moment. You can think that all phenomena are empty. They don't exist from their own side. You can think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. And let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And some long life prayers, so our precious teachers stay a long time. Whose holiness, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tub shul chang shin jam gon Galloway. Tenzing kyang Pellaway Konza dog porze. Chog sum kurway leg mon to drub. Pa dog sog dulaje gondu jab ten shog. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please live long. And because you share a beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody.